Good evening, everybody. Welcome on in. Hope everyone is doing well. Um, Hope you're all healthy, happy, and all of those other things. Hope you're all excited to get the weekend started if you haven't already started yet. It's a Friday night, and for me at least, and we can jump back into some coding as we do, and see what we can see if we can accomplish anything. It's probably the biggest thing here is see if I can accomplish anything with what we're doing. Um, but yeah, welcome on in, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. Um, so I decided to do. We're going to do two sessions of the coding, the game dev learning stuff this time around. Um, because next week we're only going to get probably enough time for just one. I'm not going to have a Saturday stream next week, so we'll see what we can do here. So I may end up not even doing like a coding stream on Friday night either, because uh, I'll want to use that extra day to do some game stuff. So we'll see, but we'll see. We'll come to that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Um, so what I was doing last Saturday, uh, before I got really sidetracked, was I'm trying to refactor some of this code just so that more so that I can try to understand it better in my head, what's going on, um, rather than plugging forward with what I've read so far, just to kind of just so I can sort of. I find that refactoring stuff, especially when I don't really understand what I'm doing, um, tends to help a little bit. It helps me kind of like look at the chunks of code and just be like, okay, what's actually being accomplished by this chunk of code, um, because it's understandable that for the book form, the book that I'm reading, it's understandable that they're, you know, um, it's understandable that they have kind of combined everything down into just as few files as they could do, um, in order to make it more compact for reading. Um, but it's also making it on the same vein. It's making it harder for me to really understand what I'm looking at points. So I'm trying to sort of bring some structure into it, although at the same time, there's no telling that the structure that I'm doing is actually makes any sense at all. So, I feel like if I'm going to move stuff around without knowing what I'm doing, I might as well do it now while there's barely anything here, kind of thing. So, what do we have here? We got the logical device, and I was looking at. Can you prepare group Discord page your YouTube channel? I want to join. I barely use Discord, so I don't really keep up to date with Discord. Discord's there's a lot of noise over there, so it's I don't really have anything set up there right now, to do anything. I do have like a Discord server, but it's mostly just notifications, more than anything else. Because I don't really follow Discord all that much. Um, But there is, over on Moonbeam, um, I have a community over there um, that I'm trying to build up. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Um, and it doesn't have quite as many features as Discord, but it's still got the chat rooms and stuff over there. So you can
Please note that any space
potentially
heat
look at that
consumption
too.
aboard this station is against the
Um,
law.
so let me see. What do I have here? Okay, so turn on Q family properties, create device. Okay, so I did do some things here, like I created the structure utils create device. Um, and then what else was I trying to do? I was trying to see if there's anything else in here I could do. So this is like device features. Where's that used? That's okay. That's used down in here. So there's not much I can do. There's not much to do with that because all I'm doing is creating the feature stack. And then this one is doing get physical device, queue creation info, required extensions. Yeah, so it would be really nice. I mean, it's not, there's not a, there's not a lot to be gained by moving this around, but I kind of want to. So, Q families, number of Q families. So, how does that give Q family properties? Physical device. And what does this ultimately return? A Q creation info. Right. So number of Q families, it's coming from the capacity on that. Okay. And most of this is mostly, it seems like self-contained. Is there anything, it does need to, well, the required extensions are needed down there, so that's not even needed for that. So let's see. Yeah, let's do. So basically, I want to return the queue creation info from this. So I want to say copy here, and then go to our. I'll just throw it in structure utils right now until we find a better spot for it. So I want to say public static. Just make it void for a second. Init all queues. Okay, so we want memory stack, and then logical device. Right, where's that? Do I even need to pass physical device in there? Because it's used for the one thing only, right? It is actually physical device. And all we're doing is passing in a number of Q families. So really it's not, it's just, where are we at here? Where are we at? Over here. So really this is not all Qs. This is just going to be init Q families. And Q families stack. Q family properties. Oh, so I do need the whole I was going to say, do I need just the number? But no, I do need the whole properties, which is fine. So what we'll say is we'll take this instead of that. All right, and then I want to return this. Right, and then over here we can do stack, and then Q family properties. Okay. All right. So we have something there. And then required extensions, device extensions, ability subset name, Mac, required extensions. What does that return? Pointer buffer. A pointer buffer to the number of extensions, or pointer buffer, a stack of the, yeah, right. Stack of pointers, or one pointer to that. So, ASCII, swap chain extension name. Swap chain extension name. Our extensions. Use portability. So we determine use portability by checking to see if the extension get device extensions stack. Device extensions. Okay. This is a private, so physical device, VK extension, properties, unmodifiable set, map, okay. Extension properties. So basically, let's get device extensions. And then the use portability is if that subset extension name is in the device extensions and this is a Mac, which honestly, I'm never releasing this thing on a Mac, so I don't honestly really want any of this code here, but I'll do it anyway because I can just kind of hide it away. So let's do this. Let's go grab this. Is this the only? That's only one usage, right? Yep, that's the only usage. Okay. So we're gonna grab this. Pull it out of there. I'm gonna put that over in structure utilities here as a private static. And then we need the physical device, which is wait, physical device is what? VK physical device. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. So we'll say VK physical device. That shortens that line up a little bit, at the very least. Okay, and then I want to come back to wherever the hell I was. There we go. So we're in logical device. Okay, so then I want to basically just initialize the extensions. So grab that and structure utils. Public Static void init. Required extensions. We need memory stack. And everything else is good there. And then this has to take a physical device as well. So we're gonna do that. And then this returns a pointer buffer. What do we have here? Return required extensions. Yes. Okay. Where the hell am I at? Here we go. So up here, we just want required pointer buffer. Required extensions equals structure utils, init required extensions, stack, and then physical device dot get physical device. And I can get rid of this. And I can get rid of that. Okay. Okay, I'm slowly trying to bring sanity back to my own brain here. Slowly. We'll see how well this goes. I mean, ultimately, I do feel like pulling these into smaller components is allowing me to see where things are sitting, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. So did I look at... So I have fence here, which I think I looked at. And I don't really have much to do there. I'm wondering if there's a better way for me to do this fail if needed stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. Something else to think about. And this is the base device queue. Don't think there's anything in here that I need to screw around with. And we have physical device, which I think I've already... Have I done anything here? No, I haven't. Get instance, physical devices. Device extension properties. Device extension properties. All right, this is the one you call to get the number, and then you have to call it again to get the actual thing. So What does that go into? An int buffer. Yeah. Yeah. See, this is one of those things. Yeah, okay. This is one of those things that drives me up a wall, and I want to fix this right now. So, and there's nothing. This is more of a code style thing than an actual problem. But one of the things I don't like is when you see someone initializing something like this, and then getting the result of it, blowing it away, getting the result of it, blowing it away. You know what I mean? Like, it's just they just keep reusing that same variable. Now, since this variable is a pointer in C, that's the whole point, right? You just reuse these things. I don't like doing that because it if I ever like do what I'm doing right now, where I want to pull something apart and move it around, that can throw all that stuff off. And so I always like to have, even if it's a little bit wasteful, I always like to have compartmentalized variables. And the best way I can do that here is to take this guy and take this guy and just make them methods. And both of those return int buffer or whatever we need to return. I guess they have to return an int buffer for this, right? VK physical device and then int buffer. Yeah. Okay. So they have to be int buffers for whatever reason instead of just ints. And so that's fine, but it'll at least get us away from that somewhat. Device properties, get physical device properties. So what is that doing? Are we using that? Somewhere? I think this is just, we're just setting that. Yeah, I think we're just setting that in the class. Technically, we're resetting it to whoever comes back here. If it's null. Okay, so if we passed in null for this, then it's going to initialize it. What does that take? It takes a VK physical device properties. Properties. Yeah, okay. Call it with null first, and then you call it with null to get the size, and then you call it with the thing to actually populate it. Okay. Alright, good to know. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. I don't think it is, but for me it's a lot louder than it is for you guys. And I only have it at like 4%. Physical device features. And this, so these two can just stay where they're at. But these, I want to do something with, and I think I think this one as well. Maybe. It may not be worth it. I think these two are worth it. This one, not. This one, probably not. Yeah, let's at least fix these. So what are we doing here? We're getting device extension properties. And Q family properties. All right. So get device extension properties. See what I can do here. So I'm not looking for. VK extension properties dot buffer. Buffer. And we need physical device, which is VK physical device. Wait, no. Yes, VK physical device. And then I also need to pass in the memory stack. int size 1. Okay. Alright, good. So we have that. So I should be able to do this dot device extensions equals actually not this. I specifically didn't do that because we're replacing the one up here with that. No, actually we're not. Device extensions. Yeah, we're not actually. Never mind. It's the device properties had already set once. I like to, whenever I'm setting something, whenever I'm setting a class property, the first time I set it to something, I usually like to put the this keyword in front of it, even though it's redundant to do that. I like to do it just because it clues me in that like this might be the first time that we're initializing this. It's just a little mnemonic that I do just for myself. So later on when I come back to this, I'm like, oh, okay, I have this dot something. This must be an entry point to this class at some point. Right, now we need these. And this does Q family properties is vk Q family properties dot buffer. Q family properties dot buffer. Get Q family properties. Grab this guy, declare this here. We do need the physical device. So VK physical device, int buffer. You know what, too? Let's do this to be absolutely pedantic about it. Stack that. Actually, it's probably int buffer dot free. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't much matter. It's going to get freed when the try catch block, the try finally block runs. So I'm not too concerned about it. One more 32-bit segment. Um, return family properties. So just do this dot family properties equals there we go. It's a little bit nicer. Do I want to do that up here? It's not worth it, probably. Alright, so I can get rid of this int buffer there. Okay, that's a little bit nicer.
Time is the fire in which
Okay.
we burn.
Alright, that's good. Get instance for device name. Huh. Devices, device name. New physical device. Oh, this is to do. I see. We're getting an instance of. No, wait. We're getting an instance of physical device. Oh yeah. Okay. This is physical device. That can stay there. That can stay there for now. Because we also have a regular get instance. And I've put things on here to help out with stuff. So those are fine. Graphics Q index. See, this is just to tell if this is going to be a graphics supported. If this has a graphics Q family on it. Where's this usage at? See, I hate when they combine these things. So this not only. Well, okay, yeah, it's really just getting you the index of the Q index. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No, honestly, this doesn't have to be. This is more of a utility thing. Index is less than 0. So what does this return then? Does this return a -1? Index of the first element which matches the predicate, or -1 if none matches. Yeah. So, yeah. You know what? I'm going to put this in Vulkan Utils here. It's a small change, but I feel like this is important enough to have in one spot. So let's do public static int get graphics q index. Index, and then the Q family properties is what? DKQ family properties dot buffer. All right. And it's barely any change, but it just makes me feel better. For whatever reason. And then this is yeah, see, like, it makes even more sense now because now I can have a get presentations queue family index. Buffer, surface get ID buffer. Okay, true, okay. Always int long, int buffer. I'm honestly surprised that every one of these things takes like an int buffer and stuff instead of just an int. Oh, that's why, because it's a bool 32 under the covers. That's why they made it as an int buffer. So basically they're just, a lot of the stuff that doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense down at the Vulkan library level. So there, that so you end up having to go through all this extra crap for something that is just supposed to give you a true false value. Because for some reason they needed it. I guess on the one hand it makes sense that they needed a 32-bit Boolean value because that's the probably D word with, or just word with, I guess. But still, it's pretty damn wasteful. That being said, I don't know why magic index. Oh, right, because this doesn't bring back a. Gotcha. All right. So I would say grab all of this. And we'll go over here. Public static int get what was it? Presentation. Get presentation queue index. Honestly, the other thing that bothers me about this too is surface physical device. VK physical device, and then surface get ID. What is surface? Vulcan surface is one of ours. What's the ID? He's just a long. Okay. So index. Yeah, the other thing that annoys me about this is the fact you gotta make two different calls. One to get the graphics queue family, one to get the presentation queue family. When it feels like I ought to be able to get them both in one call. But it is what it is. Because they just go through such a different pathway there. I wonder, mix of interval. That's just looking for the queue flags. And I guess this is doing some other crazy check. Huh. Yeah, there's probably no way that I can get around that. Yeah, there must be some other. It feels like two different people worked on these. All right, because it's like you've got flags up here you can just query. which is relatively straightforward, one-liner. And then down here, you gotta jump through all kinds of hoops to get what probably ought to be just another flag. Right? Like probably down under the cover somewhere. This is just looking at the Q flags here and just comparing it with something with something else, but who knows? Right, get presentation Q family index. So then that means come up here. I can say equals Vulkan utils. Get presentation Q family index. I need Q family properties, physical device, and then surface.get ID. Okay. Get memory type from properties. This is used, what, in Vulkan buffer. That's just looping over and finding stuff. Extract buffer, okay. Alright, I'll just leave that alone. Okay, so that is physical device and then pipeline. We got a lot of stuff here. So what is assembly state create info? It's all just to create that pipeline there. I think this is what was this is what was driving me crazy here, is just seeing all this crap getting done. Can I tease these apart? Shader stages. Modules. Hmm. Well, these go together. So that's one thing. And then... So I think what I'm going to do... Think about this. So, get shader program, get shader modules. List Vulkan shader program, shader module. Grab this. We'll go to structure utils. And public static. Oh, what is it? VK pipeline shader create shader stage create info. VK pipeline shader stage create info. Create pipeline shader info. We want to return shader stages. I want this passed in. And I just need the main program name, right? Which is just byte buffer. I can, you know what? Let's just UTF-8. I'm just gonna pass that in as a string and just do it there. Is that the only place we use main? I think we use it places, don't we? No, no. I think that's the only one. All right, let's make life slightly easier on ourselves and One over here, and we'll just do a string here. String program name. Oh, I need the memory stack too. Oh, excuse me. Is that? There we go. Okay, good. Pipeline shader info. So I'll get rid of this. And we'll do right here. That's stack shader modules main. Get rid of that, and we'll just do this, which doesn't really shorten it, but it will get rid of a line. Okay. That's our shader stages. Where's this long buffer come in at? Down there, okay. Okay, so then we have... These are all individual things that go into this larger one, right? Assembly state viewport, yeah. So what is this? Public static final int. Is that what this is taken? Int value. Okay. Alright, so we'll take... Well, I gotta take this whole thing here. Let's go like that. And we'll go structure utils. You know what? Let's bring this... I should have done this earlier, but let's bring this down here. I'm not constantly swapping between two. Alright, so we got create info. So now we're doing the input assembly state create info. So public static create pipeline assembly state info. Need the memory stack and then int topology. Okay. And that will go here. And this will return EK pipeline input assembly state create info, which means that this will just be a return statement for that, which makes that nice and compact there. Okay, and then up here, you say structure utils, create pipeline assembly state info, stack, and then this guy.
TerraCorp have strived to make home of light a place where all feel comfortable, and so have constructed multi-religious places of worship along their central highway ring for those inclined to visit whenever they feel it necessary.
Public static. VK pipeline viewport state create info. Create pipeline viewport state info. And we could just do viewport count and scissor count. Okay, and oh. State info stack 1 1. All right, and down here, public static EK pipeline rasterization. State create info. Create rasterization state info. Oh, I didn't actually copy it. Try that again. And then we want, these are all, I'm assuming integers except for that last one, which is a float. That's int. 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 Int, and then float. Okay. So we'll do int poly Polygon mode. Cull mode. Nice. And front face line width. So we want polygon mode, full mode, front face, line width. Here we'll do VK, pipeline, rasterization, state, create info. Equals structure utils dot. Okay, stack. And polygon mode. Mode. Front face and then 1.0. All right. What's the problem with this line? Must be check style. Line is longer than 200 characters. Okay. Sure. Multi-sample there. Pipeline. Multi-sample state create info. Create. Multi-sample info. And is this just an integer? Yes. Samples. Okay. All right, color blend. These look like they might go together here. Let's see. Color blend, attach buffer. color blend info, and then just one of those goes in there? Yeah, okay. Let's take these. Public static. VK pipeline color blend state create info. Create color blend state info. Turn that. Alright, so then what is info? Info. Pipeline create info. Ah, okay. I got it. Honestly, just what do I need here? I just need a number of color attachments, which is an int. Just pass the damn int. What am I doing making these interconnections that don't need to be there? Int number color attachments. And then should pass in the color right mask. Is that just an integer? It is. Alright, so and is there a way to attachments? This buffer, can I just, because since I'm only doing this one thing there, I might have looked at this already, but let's see here. Color blend attach buffer. For each. BK pipeline color blend attachment state. Color right mask. I don't know if it likes that. Not a statement. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I make this final. No. I mean, it should be final anyway, but I don't think it likes that I am. Yeah, I don't think it likes that that's a variable. Because I think it has to be, in order to do it in that, it has to be effectively final. And even though I've declared it final, I don't think it believes me. You know what? Let's see if GitHub Copilot is. Let's see what craziness it comes up with. Where's the well, it's not on the side here. Chat. How do I fix the problem with line 146? Incorrect usage of the for each method. The for each method is not valid for this type. That's not true. Because it was literally there. Issue with the for each method does not provide. I just told you it does provide a for each. For fuck's sake. Function consumer for each in interface. Yeah, for each in interface interval. Which is what this implements eventually. Right? Like, dot. I didn't just dream it up, right? Like, it's got stream on here, so I can, like, do stream operations on it. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe I should do a stream map. Or an apply, I guess. It does have for each on it, right? Because it's got the stream operations. Yeah, there's for each here. What if I do, it's happier with that. Okay. That's fine. All right. I guess the shorthand wasn't a consumer like it wanted, but that's doesn't make sense. It should be. Huh. I don't know. I don't know, but it's happier now. So, whatever. Land attach buffer. Color right mask. Okay. So that should be good. So then up here, all of that gets replaced with actually, I can just do this. So I can just do extra utils, color blend, stack, info dot number color attachments, and then I need this mask up here. Which I'm actually going to make a constant out of. So it's a little bit more a little bit more prominent. Static final int color mask. There we go. A little bit more digestible. Dynamic state. Pipeline layout. Dynamic state. Okay, create pipeline layout. Oh, I see. That's just to do. That's just to create the pipeline layout. Okay, device. And that just brings back the layout ID. Pipeline layout, create info. LB. Okay. So first of all, the dynamic state create info is a separate thing here. So that's okay. We'll just create this right now. Dynamic states. This one, anything else that could be done on there? S-type flags, dynamic state count, okay. Buffer. Are these dynamic state viewport is what? What data type is that? An int. Okay. That's an int. Oh, well, yeah, of course it's an int. I'm doing a stack of ints. I don't generally like to do debating here. You know what? We'll do it. I don't generally like to do what's it called? Dynamic parameters. It's not dynamic parameters. I forget the name of it. N number of parameters. There's a technical name for it, because it makes it harder later on to like override that if I want to overload it. or if I want to add additional parameters to it, but I'm going to do it here for this case. Public static VK pipeline dynamic state create info create dynamic state info stack and then int dynamic states and if I turn that, does this take this takes only takes two things, X and Y. Two value version of malloc. Huh. So it only does take two. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Is there a version of this that takes more than that? Yeah, var args. That's why. Yeah, that's why I wanted to say var args. So yeah, here we'll just give it to var args directly. States. var args short for variable arguments. Variable number of arguments, basically. Mostly encounter those in the main method because that's how command line parameters are passed to an application. So every time, so when you run a command, whether it's from the Windows Run menu or from DOS or whatever, and you type just anything afterwards, like any number of words afterwards, all those end up getting passed into the application as the var args, and then the application either processes them or it rejects them with loudly, or it just silently ignores them. So it's up to the app developer what to do with that. So do structure utils, create dynamic state info, stack, and then I lost my other things, didn't I? I should just make a new line here. These. That. Alright. And then the pipeline layout, create info. public static EK pipeline layout create info create pipeline layout info. Oh, actually, I don't need to create info reference. I just need the ID to it in memory. Okay. Let's just do that. Just along. Okay, and grab this. Device create device. This is or device get device. So that's VK device.
You shall see the error of your ways when I tell the authorities. Or perhaps we discuss a deal for silence.
That's good. That's good. That's pretty self-contained there. So all I gotta do here is say structure utils, create pipeline layout info stack, and then device, get device. Second. State viewport states. It's a long one, but I think I'm gonna put it in there. This is doing what? Create pipeline. Create pipeline info. Alright, so public static long create pipeline info. See what we need here to make this happy. Alright, and I need that here. And we need a whole bunch of stuff, of course. but what is this? Input state. VK pipeline vertex input state create info. Yeah, the problem with this one's going to be it's going to have a crap ton of very long parameters, but oh well. So shader stages. So what is that? Yeah, okay. And then vertex input state info. So info base vertex input state info. Grab that. That there. Assembly state create info. Import state create info. Again, this is not necessarily optimal or pretty, but it, I believe, is helping me to, or will help me to figure this stuff out a little bit more. Create info. Redundant arguments. I don't know why it keeps telling me it's a redundant argument. Multi-sample. Pipeline blend states. Color blend info. Dynamic state create info. Need the layout ID. And then the render pass on info. Which is just a long. Need VK. VK device. And cache. So VK device. Long cache ID. And that's it. Okay. All right. Why I keep saying those are redundant arguments, but whatever. Port state create info. VK pipeline viewport state create info. VK pipeline. Oh, it's because I did it wrong. That's why it's telling me that. I have 2 assembly state create infos there. That is not good. There we go. Yeah, that is a lot of there's a lot of parameters, but and honestly, I could put all those into I could shove those into like a record and just say populate this record with all this stuff, so we don't have so many parameters there. But right now, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And do create pipeline info then. So it's this.id equals struct utils create pipeline info stack shader stages input info vertex input state info assembly state create info viewport state create info rasterization multi-sample color blend info dynamic state create info layout ID render pass was something dot render pass info dot render pass and then device and then cache dot get ID It's a little bit, certainly more compact. I wouldn't say it's easier to read, but it is definitely more compact. At the very least there. Okay. I got a good crack out of my neck there. That was nice. All right. Let's see. I've wrangled some of it. It's not great, but it's I feel better that things are kind of finding a home here. 'Cause I feel like a lot of this stuff just isn't in its right or proper home. All right, pipeline cache. Pipeline cache. Great info. I assume I don't have a pipeline cache. Oof. And this is, I mean, it's literally just that. So let's try and contain this a little bit. Yeah. Grab that part of it. Pipeline cache. I want to do public static long create pipeline cache info. VK device. Wait, it's logical device, get device? What does that do now? Oh, it still does. Okay, device. Alright, so I'll put this in here. And I return this. And we just use the device instead of get device. Okay. So then here I'll just do list.id equals structure details create pipeline cache info stack and device, get device. Go. All right. Pipeline create info is just a record. Alright, so I don't have to worry about that. Semaphore. Yeah, we'll do a semaphore create info. Private static long create semaphore info. Anything else? I think it just needs the stack. I think that's all it needs. We'll find out in a second here. Oh, it does need the device. Okay. Okay, device. Alright, so up here we do this dot ID equals structure utils create. Wait, is ID not long? Yeah, it's long. What's wrong here? Oh. I made it private for some reason. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking make it private, but there you go. Device get device. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. Vulkan buffer. Yeah, there's more create info bullshit in here. It's like everywhere I look, there's another structure being created. They really had a hard on for structures when they made this library. To be fair, when I was coding in C back in college, there was a certain level of pleasure in typing out typedef struct all the time. So, kind of see where they're coming from. I need to stretch for a moment. So I'm gonna take just like a 2 to 3 minute break, run around, do some jumping jacks, whatever I need to do to get these creaky bones to stop creaking for a little bit, and I'll be right back. Enjoy the music, please. Okay, I'm back. Let's probably only going to go for another 20 minutes or so. Take me up to about midnight my time, because I kind of want to relax before jumping in bed. But yeah, we can keep on looking at some stuff here. I was just remembering too. I was so glad that I saw today that some Intel chips, I don't know which ones, but I saw that some have a security vulnerability in them now, with the branch prediction logic, and man, it's looking so much better that I for my new gaming rig I went full AMD. It's looking more and more like that was the right decision there. We'll see how well the Radeon graphics card does me with, because I know they still have quite a lot of games that end up having to be patched later on, or the driver takes a little while for the driver to get patched for new games and stuff. But yeah, I think going AMD was the right choice for CPU, and not only that, but I'm noticing, at least on the Windows 11 box that's running the stream right now, it's doing AMD on that. The AMD processor on that just everything is just a little bit faster. It's like Windows itself is just more responsive than when I had it on the Intel processor. So I don't know. Take that for what you will. I don't know why that would be, but that seems to be where we're at now. Create info. So we want to do basically the same thing here. Create buffer info. So grab this. Go public static on create buffer info. So just return there, and this is just device here, and then we want size and usage type. It's long, int, and then sharing mode is an int. Okay, so long size, int, usage type, int sharing mode. Just do that. Boom, there. And did I remember to change that on these other things? I think I did. For some reason, I'm feeling like I copy pasted no think something, which is my MO. Create for info stack, device, get device, size, usage type, and then that. I think it's size. Oh, they're passed in. Okay. Buffer memory requirements. Allocate info. Memory type from properties. Memory requirements dot size. Okay, so these go together. And alloc pointer. But we get the allocation size out of it and It's always something that's going to be a little tricky. So we get memory requirements. Get buffer memory requirements. That one I can just kind of leave there, I feel like. Okay, so what I will do here is where are we at? Common, maybe? No. Allocate info. I'll put it down here in util. So new Java class. It'll be a record. It'll be allocate info results. And it'll be the VK memory allocate info. And long what did I call it over there? Handle. Alright, so we got that. So then so I'm going to take this. Grab that portion here, and so we're doing a create memory allocate info, I guess. Public, static, location, allocate info results, create memory allocate info. Stack. Okay, device. And then there's size, but I have to see what that's what that is. Is that a long or a int? It's a long. I figured it would be a long, but I need to check anyway. Long, allocation size. Memory type from properties. Oh, we're doing get physical device. What does this ultimately take? Int value. Let's do int memory type index. And here we just need, oops, device. And I need the long buffer. Alright, and then we just do return new allocate info results. And then it's oh, I did. I just need it. Well, allocate. No, not allocate info. I need the size. Just a long. All right. So be it. Long. Size. So here we'll do allocate info dot allocation size, and then LB get 0. So up here, we've got to do a little bit of finagling. So we have to say allocate info results equals structure utils. Well, allocate info results equals utils dot create memory allocate info stack, device, get device. Size, which is memory requirements dot size. And then this. Okay. And I just have to do this dot allocation size equals allocate info results dot size. This dot memory handle equals allocate info results dot handle. Those. It's just telling me it's probably too long, right? Yeah, 244, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. It's check style. It's not an actual bug. It's just the check style stuff I have on there. The code style, code formatting, basically consistent formatting kind of thing. D handle device. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so that handles that a little bit better there. VK14, VK map memory, that's fine. Map, yeah, those are good. Okay, so Vulkan device and properties is just a record. Graphics constants is just constants. Graphics queue is just a implementation of base device queue. Presentation queue is ditto on that. Image view data is just a Pojo, so I don't need to worry about that. Render, did I do asset here? Mesh data, I haven't finished these yet, right? Yeah, I was in the process of trying to deal with that when everything was just driving me nuts. Base vertex input state info. That's fine. Forward renderer. Oh yeah, I already changed this because it's in blue. That's right. That's right. Okay. Vertex buffer structure. Get info S type. Oh, extended base vertex input state info. Yeah, okay. I guess that's fine. Command buffer info though. I think we can do better here. I think. Command buffer allocate info. primary. Otherwise, secondary. Buffer count 1. Okay. Okay. So I can grab this stuff. There's recording stuff here. We have that, flags, fail mute, that's fine. We have another buffer inheritance info structure thingamajigger to deal with there too. Okay, so let's grab. So what am I bringing? Allocate info back for what purpose? Where does this get used? It's getting used down there to actually allocate the command buffers, which is then putting them into a pointer buffer, which is then we're using to create a VK command buffer. Okay. Hey, Frozen77. You're learning HTML. Cool. Awesome. Go for it. Once it clicks, it will really open up your eyes as to the possibilities. So yeah, that's good. That is good. And actually, HTML nowadays is even far more functional, believe it or not, than it used to be, because you could do a lot more stuff now that you used to have to do in JavaScript, like validations and stuff like that. You can actually do in HTML now, like validating inputs and things like that, without needing to drop into JavaScript for a lot of it, unless you really want to, change the look and feel of it, or you have to do like a compound validation or something like that. But yeah, it's pretty darn good. I mean, I've been trying to advocate for just keeping us, I spent most of my career advocating for just the monolith, which is just like create all your HTML, all your dynamic HTML on the server, send it down, send everything down as HTML, and then use a little bit of JavaScript here and there for some quality of life stuff. And then that's that. Not this whole like, let's have the browser do everything, let's push all the model objects down and all the business logic down to the browser. And it's like, I mean, sure, you can do that. And yeah, we live in a world now where we don't have to worry quite so much about slow internet connections, but it's so much like you push so much off to the user that it comes to a point where you just can't make your site any faster because you're not in control of the hardware. Whereas having a lot of that on the server, just having the server do it, and you're just pushing HTML down. Well, browsers are pretty darn good at just HTML and just rendering and speed and all that stuff. And they're still not so great when it comes to speed with JavaScript, even though they've come a long way. It's just like sometimes raw speed just works because then that gives you if something is slow, you now are you have control over your server hardware for the most part. You can throw more hardware at it on your side and then do that. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. HTML is very, very fundamental right now and very important. Probably even more important than it has been in the past, believe it or not. So it's good to get started with that. It's very good to get started with that. Hey, Shandu, welcome on in. It's going well. How's it going with you? So I am command buffer, blah 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 blah. Where? Okay, that's so VK command buffer is. Oh, that's an LWJGL thing. Okay, got it. So I can just have this whole thing return just the buffer. Just the memory reference to the buffer, because that's all this really cares about, so it can create the actual buffer that I care about. All right, that's fine. Vulkan and Java, yep. I'm using the lightweight Java game programming library, LWJGL, as an intermediary between me and both OpenGL on one side and Vulkan on the other side. And so I'm trying to learn the 3D engine development in the first place. But I'm trying to learn how the Vulkan stuff works, because I've worked with OpenGL a little bit in the past, so I kind of understood that pretty good, but Vulkan is completely brand new to me. Do I know design patterns and solid principles? It's been a while since I've been in college, but I do remember some of it. Let's put it this way. If pressed, I could go look it up and look at it, but in the real world, you just kind of make things. I just kind of make things easy to read. Whether or not they follow all the principles is for the academics to worry about. I just try to angle my code towards. Can you easily figure out what I'm trying to do at 3 a.m? And right now, honestly, what I'm doing is not great. But I'm doing refactorings here just to try to figure out what I'm looking at. I'm trying to get all the craziness into one class so I can see what's going on, and then I can figure out how best to actually structure it correctly, because it's where it exists right now is probably correct, but it's driving me nuts that I can't there's so many methods here that are just run-on methods. They just do so much stuff. They're creating structures, they're populating the structures, they're creating more structures, they're populating those structures, and it's just like I need to bring some level of organization to it, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Although it turns out a lot of people have struggled with the same exact problem. There are Java libraries out there that try to take all this boilerplate code in Vulkan and try to make it work in an object-oriented fashion. And I didn't realize that until well after I had already started. So I'm like, I could go use those, or I could just keep plugging forward. And the book that I'm using, that I'm reading here, that has all the trying to learn how to do the Vulkan stuff with, it just kind of it does its thing. It just kind of throws everything together, and structures it more like a C program than a Java program in many ways. So I'm just kind of like, I don't want to depart too much from it because I'm never going to be able to figure out one to one what I'm looking at. But at the same time, I need to, I need to do something that will help me. The more I move stuff around, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, the more it kind of starts to click in my head as to what's going on. Is what it's coming down to. Let's see. What is my... So I've got... So what are we doing here? We're creating command buffer allocates. So I want long out of that, and I want to say create command buffer allocate info. There's going to be a couple more things there, but let's get that at least. Alright, and ultimately I want to bring back the... Actually, it wants the entire pointer buffer, doesn't it? That works. That works for me. I'm going to assume that this is the VK device. Yes. And then primary is a boolean. Command pool is a long, probably. Yes. And command buffer count is an int. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll say long command pool ID boolean primary int command buffer. So this is command pool ID and buffer count. This stays the same. Alright, good. Good. Oh, error message. Okay, so we got that. Create command buffer allocate, and so what am I gonna do there? So I need so all this comes out of here. So do structure utils, command buffer allocate info, stack, what is it over here? Pool, get device. primary and 1. All right. Where did primary come from? Oh, did I just spell it wrong? Oh, expected 5 arguments. I missed an argument here. Stack device. Command pool ID. Primary command. Okay, command pool ID is pool.getID. There we go. That's slightly better. Oh, begin info. I'm just going to leave that alone. This one. This whole thing is just a private method, huh? I could just pull this straight out of here. Inheritance, yeah, I'm just gonna pull this straight out of here. Put it down here. Okay. So this is that. I'm doing a record there. Alright, fine. Fine. Do I need to? No, that just, okay, passes all those in anyway. Yeah. Okay. Command pool. Create info. Q family index. Fail if needed. This, okay.
The shadow of death lies around this colossus. Sad to see it go.
Okay, so I could take this whole damn thing here. Create pool info. Int Q family index. I think that's it right now. Pop this in here. Turn that. Now, of course, we need the device. I mean, that makes sense. Okay. Pool info. All right. So down here, we just got to do. Stop that. And QFIL index. Oh, I need the device. Okay. Frame buffer. You see, a lot of these are just like they're just one shots. But I still would like to. I mean, this is easy enough to read on its own, but I still would like to centralize all the structure nonsense. Just so I can see if there's a way to, like, tease it into some kind of amalgamation of something that makes sense. Or not. I mean, worst case scenario, these are all static method calls, which will probably end up getting inlined by the optimizing compiler. I'm not really changing the logic of what's going on as much as I might want to. It's just hoping I can see that a lot of the problem is these things. A lot of the problem that I'm running into is these things in and of themselves don't self-document. So it's like you're creating a lot of these structures, but every one of them feels like an island unto themselves. Like, it's just like well, I mean, as I've said numerous times, it feels like a lot of boilerplate. Where it's just like you have to put it all in place just to get the most mundane result from it. But you kind of have, it's like the toll you have to pay to cross the bridge. And then probably, I mean, what'll be interesting to see is how many of these structures actually I end up having to modify as we try to make this engine more sophisticated. Because I have a feeling there's going to be maybe a fraction of the number that we've put in place here that I'll actually have to change. But we'll see. And honestly, I'm sort of like, it takes me a while for the light bulb to go off, to have that light bulb moment where things start to actually make sense. And a lot of that comes from me just staring at stuff long enough. So a lot of this moving the deck chairs around is in many ways me trying to run out the clock so that something finally clicks in my head once I see things together. And it's not because I think that they were in the wrong place in the first place. It's just I'm trying to. It's kind of like it's a little bit like juggling, right? You do it enough, you start to get good at it. If I juggle this code enough, I might actually start to understand what I'm doing. Or or it might not. It really depends. It's entirely possible this is just well beyond my capacity for learning. It would not be the first time. Create frame buffer info. Okay, there's more stuff there, but let's do that. Can return this. We need the device. Okay, what does this take? P attachments is a long buffer? Long buffer. Okay. Width is int. Height is probably int as well. Layers is an int. Render pass ID is a long. Okay. So int width, int height, int number of layers, long render pass ID. Okay. Get that. Frame buffer. Info. Alright, so to this ID equals utils create frame buffer info stack device attachments with height one and render pass ID. Okay. Image view, create info. Vulkan image view data. Is that a record? That's probably a record that I did. Yes. It is a Pojo. Okay. So image pointer. Where does that come from? That's okay, that's a long. Alright. Image pointer, and then we'll just pass data in for the rest of it. And then we need the device. Okay. What are we doing here? Create. data. Let's do VK device, long, image, pointer, data, value 0. Paste that in. I don't know if that should go under into data or not, but I'll just pass it in for now. Int base level. Okay. View pointer, where's that? Defined at. Oh, it's up here. Just forgot to copy it. There we go. And then this would be base MIP level. That there. Let's see if I can consolidate some of this. You know what? Actually, let's just put this in here first. Utils, create. What the hell is it? Image view info. Stack device, get device, image pointer, and then
If anyone has trouble flushing, you'll have to go below deck and reboot the system. They best remember to put the seat down.
image pointer, data, and then 0. Okay. Image pointer, data, 0. Okay, got that. Render instance. It's just kind of a mess anyway to create debug callback and stuff, but whatever. Required extensions. Yeah. Get extensions. A lot of these seem like they are probably things that could go into utilities, although I don't know how useful they'll be in utility classes. So we got instance create info there. Wait. Instance info. Oh yeah, okay. Everything's like after a while, all these things start to sound the same. Like because I was looking at that, like, didn't I just create an instance create info? No, I did everything but that. It did not do that. And then the application info. Right, because this is our, like, our sort of jump in here. Addition. Okay. So what I'm going to do is say to do pick up at Vulkan render instance here. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to go commit a whole bunch of this so that it is not just sitting on my machine here. Let's say start of refactoring structures to try and figure out what is going on. Okay. Good. Commit and push. 8 errors and 61 warnings. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. And yes. I find it interesting that it successfully pushed that. Because I had to change the token because it expired, and yeah. let's make sure that actually made it out there, because I don't believe it. Where's our? It's not. Where's my repositories? There we go. It did make it. It did, in fact, make it. Okay. Cool. Alright. Alright. It's out there. It is out there. Oh, do I have, we have Dependabot pull requests, don't we? Might as well take care of these right now. Need the compiler plugin from 3.13 to 3.14. Sure. Logback Classic. 1518. What the hell is using Logback? Oh, no, Logback Classic. No, that's fine. So I was thinking it said something else. It did not. Alright. Check style goes from 10.21.1 to 10.23. Alright. I have to verify that Dependabot is doing the right versions, because I've had instances where it's like, I'm going to update the version of this, and it ends up updating it to, it ends up getting confused, and instead of increasing the version number, it jumps backwards like several versions. So I always have to verify that I'm seeing like 352 to 353 and not 352 to 3.15.3 or something, or 15 would be better, but 3, it's hard to put it here, but 3.4.3 or something, because occasionally it does get confused. Not often, but often enough to be a problem. All right, so we got that. Let me go pull the latest here. So we have it. Nice. All right. All right. Good. Good. I'm gonna stop right there for tonight, my friends. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon and doing more of this, continuing where I left off here, and seeing if I can, once I do some of this, a little bit of refactoring, see if I can figure out where or how to integrate the rest of that chapter, how to do the rest of the plumbing for that chapter so that we can actually get something meaningful on the screen, as far as Vulcan is concerned anyway. So that'll be good, or at least at the very least get back to a state where we don't have any errors and I can run both this and the OpenGL thing. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, my friends. Just rolling along and trying to do what I can. Learning at the my usual slow pace. It's just the way it is. Anyway, if you happen to run across this on the YouTubes and you have a like and or a subscribe you can toss my way, you can spare, that would be awesome. It helps out tremendously and I appreciate it greatly. I'm not going to raid out or anything. There's probably nobody on right now anyway this late at night. But I will say I am also live on a new service called Moonbeam. They are a cross between Discord and Twitch. So there's live streams. It revolves around live streams, but there's also sort of realms that have different channels in it and things like that you would see from Discord. They don't have all the features of Discord, but I mean Discord's been around long enough that it's hard to replicate all those features right away. But they're slowly improving as they go. And I have a realm over there called Continuum. I'm trying to gather together, various streamers that generally do, like I do a lot of gaming streams, but I also do these coding streams and stuff, and artists and other things like that. It's fine to do some games, but also just trying to get a general shindig of streamers that do various things, and create a community over there to the best of my abilities, which I don't I struggle to create any kind of communities, so it is what it is at this moment. But if you want to go see that, it's you can go to memoryleakdeath.tv/moonbeam. That'll take you right to my realm. Or if you just want to dig around on Moonbeam itself and take a look and see what's going on, you can just go to moonbeam.stream and go take a look for yourself. See if you like what you see over there or not. Like I said, they're in open beta right now. But they are continuing to change and improve pretty much every week. New changes are happening. So, good stuff over there. Yeah, anyway, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope everyone... my brain just went blank. I've only done this outro 100 times at this point. Hope everyone is Man, I have completely drawn a blank. That is crazy. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Wow, it took me a while to re-dig that up. That's crazy. Until next time, see you, bye.
Same old story. Boy finds girl, boy loses girl, girl finds boy. Boy forgets girl, boy remembers girl. And girl dies in a tragic blimp accident over the Orange Bowl on New Year's Day.
Good year.
No, the worst.